There's a million excuses why you couldn't be healthy, but one really good reason, it's our family. That's the beauty of working at GNC. We've got something for everybody. We're here for you. Just ask. We make it simple. GNC.
Dr. Victor Prisk here, NPC News Online and GNC.com. And I want to talk a little bit about how to do the classic physique posing. Now, when I go back to how I posed in bodybuilding, I used to pose with a front double bicep with your legs close together, arms up, getting really straight on shot. But I feel like for classic physique, some of the posing from back in the old days was kind of setting here into your torso a little bit, getting the abs set, and then a little bit different with the legs, a little bit of a sweep to the body, and then just kind of bringing it in like a regular front double bicep to some extent, but trying to bring in a smaller waist and a little bit more of a classic pose with this hand opening up a little bit. I don't think it has to be like this or anything like that, but I think a little bit of a tighter waist and then a little bit of a twist and bring it here. But the most important thing is going to be how these movements flow into one another. So, in bodybuilding, I'll be here, just turn, go here. I think it's going to be a little bit more flowing. So we're here, setting it, boom, giving it a nice big twist, maybe hitting something in between a little bit, and then controlling the abdomen is going to be real important right now. A little hard to do in the off season, but we're still concentrating on it all the time, keeping this tight. Turning in here. So then the front double bicep flows into this side chest. Side chest is pretty much the same. I've seen some people out there trying to do like the women's physique side chest and stuff like that. No, we're going to be sticking to the real side chest, bodybuilding side chest. Again, it's all about abdominal control and nice flowing lines, getting the back in here, getting a full open chest, and bringing in these obliques and being real tight in your abdomen. Okay, and you got to remember, everybody's looking at you, just like in the beginning of the Pumping Iron movie. Everybody's watching you from one pose to that. They're not just watching you here, they're not just watching you here, they're watching you the whole way. So making it flow is important. So as a pro, there may be a little bit more presentation where we can do things a little bit more like doing these poses. But when you're an amateur in the NPC, you're going to really want to get into those poses. The judges don't want to see a lot of extra superfluous poses in between. So we really just want you to hit the compulsory poses. So you get in your side chest. I make the transition to the back double bicep with another little classic physique kind of pose. Bring it up. Really hit things, accentuate the movements, crush, and feel every pose. As you do it, make a nice transition around the abdominal thigh. Maybe throw a little. And then your classic physique pose. So all of them are going to be moving nice and fluidly with good midsection control throughout and really focusing on your presentation. Practice, practice, practice. So the second pose in the series after your front double bicep is to do your side chest. And it's really important that you position your legs in the side chest to show off you're going to be wearing these classic physique shorts. You're not going to have those glute striations, but you still want to be pushing your hamstrings out here. So you have a nice hamstring hanging down here. So what I'm doing with my feet is I'm jamming them together and pushing my left knee into my right hamstring right here. That's making the hamstring come out. Okay? And so just like in bodybuilding, you want to have a nice round hamstring. So it's pushing it out. I'm flexing this calf, putting my weight on the back leg so I can control that calf. And then midsection tight, hand up here, kind of level or above of your belly button, sucking it in, and then bringing this elbow out a little bit across to make these lines come out in your chest. It's a chest pose, so we're trying to get this out. At the same time, I'm pulling against my hand a little bit to bring out the lines in my delt. You may not be able to see it right now. I don't have a tan, but it'll come out when you're on stage and when you're ripped, okay? So, contract, hold it, get a good smile in there, squeeze everything real nice and tight. Then we're gonna move onto the back double bicep. All right, now we're going to turn around from the side chest. We're going to make a transition, wherever it might be, to come around into the back double bicep. Again, positioning the leg. It's going to be really important. Bring out your hamstrings, your back calf, tighten your glutes up, bring these hamstrings in. You want to bring all the lines in. And then you're going to show off your back, bring your hands straight up, drop your elbows back, get the low back tight, get a good contraction here, and then bring your lats out with your biceps, okay? Try and open up your back as best you can. And this is one thing that some people, like myself, need to work on some more mobility for, to open up your back, make things wider, and get things to stretch out. Real important to really hit each of those segments of the back double. If you don't hit those poses, you can miss a lot of lines and a lot of cool things. So a lot of nice stuff happens when you bring your arms up, crush them back, and then bring the lats out. Okay? Always having the legs contracted at all times. That hamstring, you set that and you don't stop contracting it. It's something that you need to work on a lot. People forget to squeeze their glutes, forget to squeeze their hamstrings, and bodybuilding all the time. Classic Physique, same thing. Set your legs first. Right. So now, finish the back double. Next in the sequence is going to be your abdominal thigh. Again, very much like bodybuilding. Might get a little bit of a twist into our abs a little bit. We're going to, again, set our legs first. Really get that leg in there. Feel your quad. Make sure it's nice and tight. Get the contractions out. Some people might need to do their legs straight to bring out more lines in their quads. Some people have a better sartorius. They're going to want to bring the leg out. Some people have more fullness up in here like I do and want to turn your leg up like this. If it's leg straight, it might look skinny. If you bring it out, it might look a little bit bigger. So some people will do that a little bit differently. But again, arms come up as high as you can. You get a nice tall stretch right now, a little tight. So get your arms buried behind your head. Less space you have between your biceps and your ears, the better it's going to look. Make your arms a little bit bigger. And then, without coming down too much like this, you still want to stand up tall, and then bring the abs in, and suck your belly button to your spine. If you let it come out, your waist gets wider. You can see how you can make it more narrow, just sucking in a little bit more, not staying up. Okay? Now, some variations might be to bring in your obliques if you have really good obliques. You can come across, but main thing is staying tall, getting your abs open up, making your waist look as narrow as possible. The next pose in the sequence after the abdominal thigh is going to be your favorite classic physique pose. All right, now this is not your favorite most muscular. In fact, this is how classic physique differentiates itself from bodybuilding, is that you get to do a pose that really shows your strengths. And it gives you a chance to be a little bit original and to show kind of your personality. So this pose becomes very important in making the division what it is. Pick one that works really well for you. Now, my suggestion is going to be that you pick a pose that makes you look nice and big and tall. Some people will say, you know, I want to hide my legs a little bit, get down here and do one of these Franco Columbu poses where you're down on the ground like this, something like that. I'd really like to do that. However, if you think about it, when you're posing with all these other guys in a line, if you've got a guy who's 6 feet tall and is doing some big, archer pose, and you're down here, where's the crowd and the judges going to be looking? They're going to be looking at that big guy up top. So you may not want to do these poses where you go down to the floor. So my recommendation would be to stay up top, stay big, do poses that will emphasize, your good body parts, whether it be your bicep, your chest, whatever. But again, no crabs, no most musculars, things like that. So it's going to be big open poses is probably going to be your best bet. I like doing something going to the old, Dorian Yates, to the archer. These kinds of things are going to make this division look really awesome.
When I cross the finish line, it's just going to feel amazing because I've never run that far in my entire life.
Need help reaching your next goal? Just ask. We make it simple. GNC.